Hi, and welcome to Chapter 9, Introduction to the Meeting Industry. So this will be very interesting for you guys that is interested in events planner. So it is not necessarily that it's only a meeting. Remember, a meeting refers to any gathering. So whether it is a wedding, whether it is a fashion show, anything like that, which is a meeting. A meeting is a gathering. So we'll start off by talking about the different types of meetings that we get. The first one is an association meeting. So an association meeting means people coming together that is associated with something. So it ranges from trade groups to social groups and something like labor unions. There's always an organizational chart, somebody that is in charge and different people in charge of different things. They normally have one annual meeting. So if you think about it, this is one very, very large type of meeting. So extensive planning. Um, they need big, big size, large amount of uh, people, things like that. And what happens there is that they discuss issues that might affect their future, something like government regulations and things like that. So the program, it depends on what they need to discuss, but it can last from one date up to 1 week. Now the event planner here probably takes quite a long time to organize this whole event because they need to select where this meeting is going to be held at least 2 to 5 years before the event because they need to book. You receive an invitation, the people that actually goes to the meeting, because the attendance is voluntary. So you receive an invitation and you need to RSVP before a certain date. Also, there could be an exhibit or exhibitors. So the size is, again, they need exhibit space. So meeting planners need to pay special attention to site selection as well as a social program if that is needed. The next one is your corporate meetings. So it's your business meetings. So that's your management meetings. It's training seminars if training is needed. Your sales meetings. So it can be national or regional. It could be new product introductions, whether a new product needs to be introduced to be used in a business. It could be professional technical meetings. It could be incentive trips, stockholder meetings, or any other type of corporate or business meeting. Okay, and then we have trade shows or expositions. They normally take place in conventions and exhibition halls. They normally sponsored by trade associations and private companies. And they normally are sponsored by the association that gives them revenue. But I'll talk about that in just a while. Right, so trade shows can be placed in four categories. So the first one that we have is your industrial shows. So the definition of an industrial show is when it's used by manufacturers or equipment and products to exhibit their products to other manufacturers. So basically the manufacturer is using those goods and they buy it from another manufacturer, if that makes sense. The next one is your wholesale or retail trade show. So if you go, you can't just go to this trade show. You basically have to be, how can I say, you need to sell things also like a boutique. Okay, so it's collections of exhibits that are specific to one or more closely allied or associated trades. You, as the boutique, the buyer, represent the business, the boutique, and are shopping for services and products to use in the conduct of your business. For example, you can't go and say, I would like this and I would like that. Let me pay for it, and then I go. You actually need to actually go and buy in bulk. And you take that and they deliver it to your boutique, and you're going to sell that in your business to a customer, to make sense. You bought it in bulk. Then the next one is your professional and scientific exhibition. So it is associated with meetings or professional groups like educators, scientists, and other people who's considered end users. For example, dentists. Back in the day, they used, these silver fillings like I have in my mouth as well. But today they use white fillings. So let's say they were invited to this exhibition, or maybe it's a X-ray machine or whatnot. So they are in a specific profession, okay? Medical profession. And all this in this medical profession goes to this trade expo. So they buy this filling machine, or they buy this X-ray machine that can actually take around your whole head an X-ray, because they want to use it in their profession as an end user. Does it make sense? They want to use it in their practice because they are the end user. Then we have public or consumer shows like me. If I would go to Baby City, they are, not Baby City, the Baby Expo. It's very open to the public. It's basically exhibitors that advertises their products to the public. If you link this to the hospitality industry, think about the Good Food and Wine Show or Hostex or the Travel Expo. They advertise destinations, they advertise hotels, cruise liners, where you listen to videos, you listen to presentations about different vacation spots and places like that. Okay? The point is, it's open to the consumer, it's open to the public. So those are your 4 different trade shows. Now we have other types as well, gatherings. So those are you that wants to be party planners, right? So many social events nowadays, like births, baptisms, bar and bat mitzvahs, birthdays, engagement parties, weddings. Weddings are going crazy nowadays. Anniversaries, you can have destination weddings. People nowadays have a party for literally everything. Think about this gender revealing parties. I think people are literally just making a party to have an excuse to drink, which I have no problem with. But anyway, but yeah, so which is not a bad thing for our industry, meeting planners, events planners needs a job. So if I just think, in this life of ours, there's no time for us to plan parties, birthday parties and things anymore. So it's just easy to pay somebody else to do this. So yeah, that's why there's so many social events. So they need an events planner or a planner to actually organize and do all the little frillikies and things like that to show you. So if you have a look at all of these pictures, this is what you would do if you were a party planner. Look at the birthday parties, all the backdrops. You would obviously organize and make, or I don't know, purchase all of these things. Baby reveals, bar mitzvah. Let me see if I can have a pointer over there. This over here is a bar mitzvah. This is a baby reveal party. This is just a gathering. This is also a birthday party. This is like a wedding. Also, oh baby, let me disappear. This is a gender reveal party. She obviously is getting a girl. So yeah, this is what you would do. I think that's fun. I normally organize my kids' own birthday parties, and let me tell you, it costs a lot of money. So there's definitely money in that if you want to do that, because you would put labor into that. But it's a lot of fun as well, because you go shopping and you have creative ideas and all of that. So there's definitely a market in that. Right. So with regards to the role of civic and government organizations, this to me is like a information center. It's a convention and visitors bureau, like a visitor center. It's non-profit. They basically market their destinations, where you get all those little pamphlets and brochures about their destination or their area, things to do, basically. It helps groups find meeting sites and accommodations, and also what activities to do. Okay, so they can also offer personal assistance with greeting and registering any delegates. Where are meetings held? Anywhere, guys. Anywhere. I mean, look at us right now. We're having a meeting. We can literally sit underneath the tree, but we will probably be locked up now because it is lockdown. Um, so yeah, you can literally have a meeting anywhere. You can have a meeting at an amusement park, a football stadium, a cruise ship, hotels, and so. But obviously, most formally, it's held at conference centers, which is normally in hotels and so on. Okay, so you can literally have a meeting anywhere. And look at us. This is I would say this is a virtual meeting, but there is a couple of requirements when you have a virtual meeting in a business. You have to create a telepresence, okay? So virtual meetings proper name is called teleconferencing, and it was first started by Starwood Hotels and Resorts, which you would know as the Sheraton, the W, the Westin, okay? That they firstly started like that. So you need to create a telepresence. Now, the telepresence means you need to simulate a face-to-face experience. So what it means is, let's say I'm here in South Africa and I am having a meeting with people in, let's get a place that is not filled with corona, Iceland, okay. A telepresence means that my background, their background has to be similar. It needs to feel as if we are sitting, I'm sitting here and they're literally sitting on opposite of me. Face to face, projected onto screens. The setup of the room needs to be similar. It almost needs to simulate as if you're in the same room. Okay, I'm going to show you a clip now, which basically gives you, it's a company that advertises their products to create its telepresence.
Grazie. Ciao.
Ciao. Papà, dove vai oggi?
In America.
Antonio, dove vai?
In America. Buongiorno.
Buongiorno.
Antonio, dove vai oggi?
In America. Ciao.
In America. No.
Good evening, New York.
Hi. Ciao. So, how was the commute?
Benissimo.
Meeting face to face without traveling place to place.
Let's start. I have to be in China in 20 minutes.
That's the human network effect. Cisco, welcome to the human network.
Okay, so I'm sure you got what I said with the whole telepresence and the whole idea, like you are in the same room with each other and so on. Okay, so that's what telepresence is. Then this, please mark this very, very important in your textbook, the meeting planning process. Okay, I love to ask this in the test as well as in your exam as a long question where you need to explain the whole meeting planning process in detail. Right, so here we start. The first thing that you do with the process is to plan the meeting itself. Now remember, this is your duty as the meeting planner, eh? Or the events planner. So the first step in planning the meeting itself is to start with the objectives of the meeting. Now, what is objectives? Remember, with every time when I start with a lecture, what is this meeting about? Okay, what are we going to do? What is it that we are going to achieve? So firstly, you need to find what this meeting is about. The objectives can be if it is a business meeting, is it educational, is it social? Okay. The site that you're going to choose obviously depends on the objectives. If it is a social meeting, you're obviously not going to choose a, you can probably use a, let me go otherwise. If it is a business meeting, you're probably not going to choose a cruise ship, if I can go that extreme. You get what I'm saying? You need to choose the site that is more suitable with the objectives. Okay? The next thing that you need to look at is the scheduling. That means the time that you need to achieve the objectives. So let's say you have a week. Okay? So you need to work out from what time to what time the people are going to be available. How many hours is there in the week from what time to what time? So you need specific objectives to be achieved. The next one is the format. That's the overall schedule of events. So the organizer, you are the organizer, but no, you're the planner. So the organizer wants there to be an awards dinner. They want there to be a team building activity. They want there to be this and this and this. So you need to decide. On Monday, this is going to happen. The awards dinner is going to be on Thursday night. The team building is going to be that. So you need to sit and decide on Monday, between this time and this time is going to be breakfast. Then at this time and this time, this group is going to break away and do this. So you need to have an overall schedule of events. Then you need to choose a location. Okay. The location obviously needs to be predetermined. Okay. So you need to decide beforehand where it's going to be. And they say that it needs to be changed yearly. Don't necessarily agree. Can be the same place, but there might be factors that says why. The nature of the organization obviously depends on the location. You can't take, let's say the church needs to have a conference. You can't take them to Las Vegas. I'm sure they'll enjoy it, but you get what I'm saying. Is it accessible to airports or transportation and things like that? And then you need to choose a facility. Is the guest room accommodation adequate? Is there Wi-Fi? Because obviously it's work, né? They're going to need to have internet access. Meeting room setups. What type of meeting room setups are you going to choose? The types of amenities and recreational facilities. They said that they actually want to do team building. Is there place for team building? The size, very important. How big is it? And then cost. You were given a budget. Does it work within your budget? Okay, so you need to elaborate on all of that. Then, do they have soundproof rooms? Do they have adequate audio-visual facilities? Because part of that is you need to have presentations. They need to have music for their ballroom event or awards event and all of that. And the meeting room distance from the guest rooms. Do they have to walk to their meeting rooms or the conference facilities? Do they need to drive? All of that. So you need to take that into consideration. I'm not done. This is still part of your 20-mark question. Then important criteria in selecting the meeting site is, what is the price of the hotel rooms? Once again, you have a budget. Available meeting space. Is this property willing to negotiate with you? Sorry, sir, I'm going to book half of your venue. Are you willing to negotiate? What is their service standards? The price of the meeting space? What on-site meeting services do they have? Are they actually available? What attrition rates do they have? Do they have on-site amenities? And what complementary services can they offer you? Not done yet. With regards to technology, okay, what event technology? Because remember, it's all about technology nowadays. Who's not going to go with their computers? Everybody has Wi-Fi. Our phones, I mean, our phone sleeps next to our bed. Good. So event technology usage before meetings. So you need to create a website for your event beforehand, all right? And when you go on, because nobody carries their laptop underneath them, we carry our phone. So when we Google for this event, it must be mobile friendly, okay? And also you should maybe create a group or a Facebook page or have a social media connection for this event on your phone or on social media, okay, so that while they are at this event, they can actually post a comment or group or like it or share it or something like that. Then during the meeting, must make sure that you have enough bandwidth, because remember, people are going to be at this meeting. They're going to share it, they're going to comment it, they're going to like it. You don't want things to be hanging while they are there. And then with regards to mobile apps, make sure that you have a schedule of the events or the functions that's taking place there. Then after the meeting, always evaluate. Make sure that you have or send online evaluations so that you can monitor the feedback on social media. Maybe give immediate feedback. Very nice. Then when you have meeting rooms, depending on the size, you need to set up some meeting rooms. Yes, just some examples of meeting room setups, depending on the type of meeting and also the amount of people attending. Here's some examples of meeting room setups. You have theater, banquets, and all of that. Obviously, if you have like an awards evening, you're going to use a banquet setup. If you have a very intimate executive meeting with 10 people, you might use a conference style, for instance, or maybe a U-shape. Okay, so you need to choose the correct meeting room setup. So just before that was the 20 mark question. Okay, so you need to include all of that for your 20 mark question. Right, what careers do you have available to you in the meeting industry? A meeting planner, as we said, or events manager. So what tasks do you have? Just to summarize, you have to establish the objectives, you have to select the site and the facilities, you have to negotiate, good negotiation skills. You have to be able to budget, work with money. I can't, but probably will if I have to. You need to handle reservations, housing, F&B. So you need to room the guests. Choose transportation options. So you need to know who to find at the airport. So you need to organize transportation for them, plan the programs, room setups, planning the meeting room setups, manage any exhibits if there is exhibits, select guest speakers if there's guest speakers to be organized, as well as book for entertainment if they want entertainment. So very good negotiators and diplomats. You know that it's very busy, you work under a lot of pressure, so you can't fold under pressure. You need to have a plan A, B, C, D, E, F, and probably a G under dust, folded up underneath the couch if that needs be. Okay, so problems can happen, you need to solve it as it comes up. So with regards to travel and tourism careers associated with meeting planning, you've got your event planner that coordinates the events. You've got hotel careers associated with meeting planner, your convention services manager. You've got careers in Convention and Visitors Bureau, your chief executive. You've got careers in tourism department, which is your advertising and sales. And then you also can have a career in exhibits and exhibit designers. That's more construction, where you design, promote, and manage the exhibit and trade shows. If you have any questions with regards to Chapter 9, please feel free to ask.